So, dear students, today I'm going to start with chapter number 1 from the book India, People and Economy. And the name of the chapter is Population Distribution, Density, Growth and Composition. This chapter mainly focuses on the different aspects of population of our country. Okay, here we are going to discuss about the distribution of population in our country, about the uneven density of population in our country, okay, as well as about the different aspects or characteristics of population of our country. Okay, so as we all know that population studies is an important branch of geography, and basically it deals with the different aspects of population. Okay, so this chapter is also going to provide us information about the different aspects of population in our country actually. Okay, so here we are going to know that how did the population of India, the growth of India's population took place in different time period. Okay, about like the distribution of the population in India, like why the population is unequally distributed, why certain areas of our country is having higher population, whereas few areas they have a less population. Okay, or why the some states are highly densely populated and some states are very having a very least density of population. Okay, these are the all aspects which we are going to cover in this chapter. Okay, and it is going to a very interesting chapter for you all. So let us start with this chapter. So as we all are aware that India is the second largest country in terms of population. Okay, in terms of total population, India is the second largest country in the world after China. Okay, so China ranks highest, China ranks first, okay, in terms of total population, and the rank of India in terms of total population is second. Okay, so the total population of India is 1,210 million. Okay, 1,210 million as per the census of 2011. Okay, so every year the census is being conducted in our after every 10 years the census is being conducted in our country. Okay, so this census, it basically provides us information about the population, okay, about the different characteristics of population. Okay, so according to the census of 2011, the total population of India is 1,210 million. Okay, that is around 121 billion actually. And even the most interesting fact about India's population is that India's population is larger than the total population of North America, South America, and Australia put together. Okay, so if you combine the total population of North America, South America, and Australia, the total population of India is even more than that. So just see North America, okay, a continent, South America, a continent, Australia, a continent. So the total population of these three continents, okay, is even less than the total population of India, which is a country. Okay, so I think you have understood that why we need to study about the population of our country actually, because studying about the population of our country is going to provide us various interesting facts. Okay, it is going to provide us with various interesting informations actually. Okay, it's like the most important interesting fact which you came to know is that the total population of India is more than the total population of these three continents: North America, South America, and Australia. Okay, so more often, it is argued that such a large population, it invariably puts pressure on its limited resources and is also responsible for many socio-economic problems in the country. Okay, and more often you will find like there are many arguments actually. Okay, there are many arguments again, in against the total, like against a large population, having a large population. Okay, so there are many geographers, okay, like population geographers actually, who say that having a large population is not a like positive thing actually. Okay, because whenever the population of a particular region or a country increases, what happens, a more pressure is created on the available resources, because the resources are fixed in supply, they are limited. Okay, and we human beings, we depend on our surrounding environment for different kinds of resources. Okay, like just take an example of water. Water is a resource. Okay, so we depend on our surrounding environment for water, okay, which is a vital resource. So if the population in our area, it increases rapidly, what will happen? The availability, there will be a more pressure on the water resources, and what will happen, the water resources will get depleted day by day with the increase in the population, isn't it? So we may face a situation of water scarcity in the near future. Okay, so basically it is said, okay, this is why it is said a large population puts more pressure, okay, puts more pressure on the available resources. Okay, so this is why the population geographers, they always say, okay, to control the population growth, okay, they always speak, okay, about reducing the population actually, to control the population growth of the country or the regions actually. Okay, because if we maintain the population, okay, according to the resources, if we control the population growth, what will happen, the various socio-economic problems will not take place. Okay, like in our country, we can see like poverty is one of the main issue actually. There are many people in our country who are below the poverty line, okay, who are not getting equal access to various resources and all. Okay, so why such condition has taken place actually, why such situation has taken place? Because the available resources, okay, because the available resources are not enough, okay, to meet the need of the growing population. Okay, so in order to sort out such kind of socio-economic issues, socio-economic problems actually, we must have a optimum population. Okay, optimum population means the population, okay, must be at per the available resources. Okay, means the ratio of the resources and the total population, okay, should be like a balanced. Okay, which way, so if we maintain a balance between the available resources and the population actually, we will not face any kind of socio-economic issues. Okay, so I think you have understood the importance of studying population. Okay, studying population actually. So like we are going to discuss here actually, okay, about the population of our country India, okay, and how the population of India has increased to 1210 million. Okay, and what are the different socio-economic problems which are facing because of this increased growth of population actually. Okay, so in this chapter, we will discuss the pattern of distribution, the density of the population, the growth, and the composition of India's population. Okay. So before we start to discuss about the distribution of population of our country, okay, first of all, let us know that from where do we get the information about the population actually. Okay, like I am saying, 1210 million population is there. Okay, the Himalayan areas are having less population, the northern plains are having very high population. Okay, and like I am seeing that Uttar Pradesh is that state having the highest population, Sikkim is the state having lowest population. So how do I come to know actually? Okay, I come to know about this information from the census data. Okay, and what is the census actually? The census, okay, census is actually an official enumeration of the population. Okay, that means census is actually the total calculation of the population after every 10 years. Okay, so this population data are collected through the census operations which are held every year in our country. Okay, and the first population census in our country was conducted in the year 1872. Okay, so during the colonial period, okay, in the year 1872, the first census was conducted in our country. Okay, but this first census was not a complete census actually, means the census was conducted but it could not be completed because of certain regions. Okay, and later on again in the year 1881, okay, the census was started actually. Okay, again in the year 1881 the census was started and it was finally completed. Okay, it was successfully completed actually. So this is why we consider the year 1881 as the main year, okay, as the starting year of India's census actually. Okay, so like you may be getting three questions from this small topic, from this small paragraph actually. Okay, what are the three questions? Like what is the source of census data? Okay, or from where do we come to know about the population data? So the source of population data is the census operations. Okay, and in which year the first census was held in India? The first census was held in India in the year 1872. And the next question is, in which year the first complete census was held in India? Okay, so the first complete census was held in India in the year 1881. Okay, so this paragraph, that is the sources of population data, okay, the like information which is provided within this box is very much vital actually. It is very much important for your board examination. So let us study about the distribution of population. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about the distribution of population with the help of figure 1.1, which is there in the next page actually. Okay, so through the figure 1.1, like it is clear, okay, like we come to know about the uneven distribution of population. Okay, because the figure 1.1, okay, it shows us that how the density of population varies actually. Okay, so here you can see that in the map, you can see that there are certain areas where the number of dots are very close actually. More number of dots are there, okay, in certain areas, and in certain areas the number of dots are very less. Okay, so basically the areas where the number of dots are very closely located, or you can say where the number of dots are more, okay, those are the areas where the population is high. Okay, and where the dots are very much less, in those areas the population is less. Okay, so here you can see that basically the number of dots are more in this area, in the northern plains area. Okay, like here you can, at the center here, you can see that more number of dots are there. Actually, this is Delhi. Okay, Delhi, this is the place Delhi actually, where the highest density of population is there. Okay, and again, you can see this entire northern plains area actually. Okay, like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab, Haryana, okay, West Bengal and all. Okay, these are the areas where you will find more number of population, people actually, more number of dots. Okay, which shows that the population is much higher here. Again, if you go to the southern state, you will find that in Kerala, the number of dots are more. But you see the number of dots are very much less in this states, like in Arunachal Pradesh, in the Himalayan states, in the state of Rajasthan and all. Okay, the number of dots are very less actually. So it shows that these are the areas where the population is not so high actually. Okay, so basically this map is actually the dot map. Okay, it is a dot map. Okay, and with the help of this dot map actually, okay, we try to find out the density of population actually. Okay, so here one dot actually represents 2 lakh people. Okay, so the number of total number of dots actually represents the total number of population. Okay, in different parts of our country actually. Okay, and so from the above map actually, okay, we see we can find we can observe that the areas which are having like more population and all, okay, and the areas which are having very less population. Okay, so if we see the data actually, okay, the population data of the year 2011 census actually, you will find that the state UP, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, along with Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Karnataka, and Gujarat, they account for about 76% of the total population of the country. Okay, so the states like Uttar Pradesh, okay, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Karnataka, and Gujarat. Okay, these are the 10 states. Okay, these are the 10 states which constitute 76% of the total population of our country. So, like when the census 2011 census was conducted actually at that time, okay, the number of states were 29 states were there. Okay, sorry, 28 states were there at that time. Okay, so out of this 28 states, okay, like 10 states, okay, they occupy 76% of the total population. So you can imagine that these are the states, okay, which are highly populated. Okay, and the states has been named here. Okay, like the states has been named here serially actually. Okay, UP, Maharashtra, Bihar and all. Okay, it has been named here serially actually according to their rank in terms of population. Okay, so the first name appears which appears here is Uttar Pradesh, UP. So UP is the state which is having the largest population, highest population in our country, followed by Maharashtra. Maharashtra holds the second position. Bihar holds the third position. West Bengal, our state, it holds the fourth position, okay, in terms of total population. Okay, and on the other hand, you will find that there are certain states in our country. Okay, there are a few states in our country where the population is very, very less actually. Okay, on the other hand, the share of the population is very small in the states like Jammu and Kashmir, where only 1% population they live. In Arunachal Pradesh, only 0.1% population live, where and Uttarakhand 0.8% they live. Okay, so these are the states, though they have a large geographical area. Okay, these are the states though they have a large geographical area, okay, but then also the concentration of population is very much less. Okay, like in Jammu and Kashmir, only 1.04%. In Arunachal Pradesh, only 0.11. In Uttarakhand, only 0.84% of the people they live actually. Okay, so why such variations? Why such variations exist in our country actually? Okay, so it does not mean that if the state is like large, okay, so it will have a large population. It is not that, it is not that case actually. Sometimes we see that the states are small, but the total population is even higher. Okay. So such a variation is there. Okay, such a variation, uneven distribution of population exist in our country because of various physical, social, and economic issues actually. Okay, because of various social, physical, and economic issues. Okay, like we have discussed already when we were discussing about the world population distribution, density, and growth. Okay, that how the geographical factors. Okay, that is the availability of water, the landforms, the climate. Okay, they influence the distribution of population. Okay, so in case of India also, okay, the physical feature, that is the relief feature, okay, the availability of the fertile land, the availability of the water, okay, the climatic condition, okay, this has influenced the distribution of the population actually. Okay, and this is the reason that in our country, okay, the population is unevenly distributed. So like you will find that mostly the states, okay, like here you have seen West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal. So out of these four states, actually, the first, the third, and the fourth state, that is Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. Okay, they come under the northern plains. Okay, so the northern plains, they have a high population actually. Okay, so like the areas, okay, basically you'll find more number of population is concentrated. Okay, in the plain areas, basically in the northern plains. Okay, so we observe that the North Indian plains, the deltas, and the coastal plains, they have a higher proportion of population than the interior districts of the southern and the central India. Okay, so you will find that more number of people are concentrated. Okay, more number of population can be found in the northern plains, in the deltic regions, and in the coastal plains. Okay, as compared to the southern and the central Indian states. Okay, whereas the Himalayas, okay, some of the northeastern states and the western states, okay, they also have like moderate population actually. Okay. However, the development of the irrigation facilities in Rajasthan, availability of minerals and energy resources in the state of Jharkhand, and the development of transport network in the peninsular states, okay, like in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and all, okay, have resulted in moderate to higher concentration of population, okay, yeah, which were previously very thinly populated. So the peninsular states, okay, like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, okay, uh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and all, these are the states which were previously, okay, these are the peninsular states which were previously not having so much population actually. Okay, even the state of Jharkhand and Rajasthan, they were not having so high population before actually. Okay, but now because of development of irrigation, because of the availability of the minerals, and because of the development of the transport and the communication network actually, these are the states, okay, which are having like higher concentration of population. So here, like you can see that the physical factors, okay, the physical factors has played a very vital role, okay, in the distribution of population of our country. So apart from the physical factor, the socio-economic and the historical factors has also played a very important role actually, okay, in the population distribution. Among the socio-economic and historical factors of distribution of population, important ones are the evolution of the settled agriculture and agricultural development, the pattern of the human settlement, the development of the transport network, industrialization, and urbanization. Okay, has influenced the distribution of population in our country. Okay, so like the evolution of the agriculture actually. Okay, like in our country, most of the people are dependent on agriculture actually. Okay, and agriculture is an age-old economic activity actually. Okay, so in our country, basically, the population started growing near the river basins. Okay, why? Because the farmers, the people, they settle near the river basins. Okay, to take the opportunity of the fertile land and the you can say the availability of water. Okay, so because of the settled agricultural system, okay, these areas actually the plain areas, okay, they have higher concentration of population. Okay, apart from this actually, okay, the industrialization, okay, that is the setting up of new industries, okay, has attracted more number of people, as well as the urbanization, okay, the increase in the number of the towns and cities has also helped, okay, in the uneven distribution of population actually. Okay. It is observed that the regions falling in the river plains and the coastal areas of India have remained the regions of larger population concentration. Okay, and it is mainly observed that the areas which comes under the river plains actually, okay, the areas which comes under the river valleys, okay, and the coastal areas actually, they have a larger population concentration. Okay, they have a higher concentration of population. So basically, this is why you will find that the coastal areas, okay, the eastern coastal plain and the western coastal plains, okay, and the plain areas, they are highly populated actually. Okay, so even though the use of natural resources like the land and water in these regions have shown the sign of degradation, the concentration of population remains high. Okay, because of an early history of human settlement actually. Okay, so in these areas, okay, in the plain areas and the coastal areas actually, though the soil is getting degraded day by day, okay, and the agricultural production is also like not so like getting degraded, okay, but then also the population has remained high in these areas actually, okay, because of the history of human settlement and development of the transport network actually. On the other hand, the urban regions of Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Pune, Ahmedabad, Chennai, and Jaipur have higher concentration of population due to industrial development and urbanization, drawing a large number of rural urban migrants. Okay. On the other hand, there are some urban areas actually. Okay, like the city of Delhi. Okay, the city of Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Pune, Ahmedabad, Chennai, and Jaipur. Okay, these are the cities which has a very higher concentration of population. Okay, why? Because of industrial development, because of urbanization. Okay, so because of the rapid expansion of industries, okay, as well as the rapid expansion of trade and commerce in these areas, actually, many number of people, okay, many number of people has migrated from the rural areas or from the smaller cities to these towns and the cities actually, okay, and which has led to the growth of these cities, which has helped in increasing the population of these cities. Okay, and now you see that Delhi is the urban Delhi is the city actually which is having the highest population actually, okay, among all the cities, followed by Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Pune, and all. Okay. So this is what about the distribution of population in our country. Okay, and here we came to know that how the physical factors, okay, the economic and the historical factors has influenced the distribution of population in our country. Okay, so here if you see, in terms of population, actually, the state which is having the highest population is Uttar Pradesh. Okay, Uttar Pradesh is the state which is having the highest population in terms of total population. Okay, and Sikkim is the state which is having the lowest population. Okay, and here again you can see like in case of the Union Territory actually. Okay, in case of Union Territory, Delhi is having the largest population. Okay, Delhi is the Union Territory which is having the largest population according to 2011 census. So this is what about the distribution of population in our country. Okay, that is in India.